I don't know.
734-6666-914.
We are live.
734-6666.
Good morning, Facebookers.
Or book an appointment online at
Good morning, Facebook.
roofing.com.
I'm Dick Hafner, WJR
All
News.
those poor Facebook people I had to erase because of our change in our email.
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. It is the 27th day of July, the 209th day of 2020. There are 157 days left in the year. I hope you had a very nice weekend. The rooster is crowing. We're all up and at 'em. The team, and raring to go. We're going to be as excited about it being Monday as we are it being Friday. But if we had a choice, we might start every week with Friday. But it's Monday, and we're all together. The team. Dick Hafner, thanks for the news, the way it was meant to be presented. Funny, it was as news rather than opinion. How unusual. We appreciate that. Mr. News Director, thank you for that. Dana Clark is here. Traffic, weather, movies, restaurants, whatever's on her mind, she speaks it with her Tiger baseball hat on because it's play ball, Tiger home opener today. And we're excited about that. They're coming in as a winning team.
Winners, yeah.
They're coming in leading. They're in the top in terms of tied for first or something like that. Well, it's only one game, but so what? It's 3 games. They won 2 of them, and it's all good. But they're I think tied for first with one game with one other team or something. I don't really follow that carefully. Brian Morton is in the booth taking care of business, pressing all the right buttons. And we have Ann Thomas, our executive producer, up and at him.
Good morning, Dub. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Did you have a good weekend? Everybody have a good weekend?
Yes.
Great weekend.
Yes, we made it.
Made it.
We made it.
Now we're surviving the weekend?
Now we're surviving.
Not good. You got to do better than surviving the weekend.
No. It was a good weekend.
Sorry to see that we were kind of right when I said I called Regis Philbin, and they said, well, thank you so much for calling, but Regis isn't doing interviews right now. And I thought, I didn't call to interview him. I called to see how he was doing. Clearly, he wasn't doing so well. And we lost Regis a week before his 89th birthday. And that was sad.
Yes, very sad.
Kind of sad. I pictured him because he had so much energy all the time. I just pictured him as going a lot longer than 88, almost 89 years. But he did have issues along the way. He had heart issues and other problems. So he did well under the circumstances, if you know what I mean. I think he did very well. But he's gone. And what else? A lot of other good things, other positive things that have happened as they're getting ready at Comerica Park. Remember, we would be out there getting ready for the Tigers, winning 2 of 3 with Cincinnati, taking down the Royals today. I wondered if it was ever 50-50 if we were going to be broadcasting from the Opera House as we had in the past.
Right.
I don't know.
That seems like that would have been safe. If you are headed down there, though, we are expecting rain. So if you're heading down there early to try to hang out at a restaurant or something or tailgating,
act like you're going to the game.
Act like you're going to the game. Yeah. There's really no tailgating at the park, obviously. Take your umbrella. It's going to be hot and muggy, and take lots of water. So
hydrate. 5:42 at WJR, Monday morning edition of the Paul W. Smith Show.
This report is sponsored by the podcast True Romance.
Hi, I'm Devin Leary.
And I'm Carolina Barlow.
And we're here to tell you to dump him.
Break up with your boyfriend.
It's time.
Find True Romance wherever you get your podcasts to find out why.
You know, I've always thought it was good to take life advice from somebody who doesn't know you and is doing a radio show.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Hi, I've spoken to you for 25 seconds on the phone, on the radio. You
Right.
should change your life.
Right.
Let's find out at 5:43 what's going on in our world with WJR Traffic and Weather. First, Miss Dana.
Just construction to start. Traffic First sponsored by the Restore Wellness Center. Tired of dealing with nagging body pain, joint swelling, tendonitis, neuropathy, and chronic pain? The Restore Wellness Center will reduce or eliminate the pain completely. Reserve your appointment today at the state's best non-invasive laser therapy treatment center. Call 800-935-5959 in Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or restorewellnesscenter.com. 94 eastbound between Gratiot and Chalmers closed for construction. Traffic now stopped from Van Dyke. That is scheduled to be in place until late Tuesday. That's because of buckling pavement. As a detour, you can take Gratiot northbound to Outer Drive eastbound. That'll get you back to 94. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the law firm of Victoria, Divorce and Family Law for Women Only. Family members and friends pass this information on to your loved ones. Asset protection, best interest of the children. The conversation starts with the law firm of Victoria. Call 248-723-1600, victorialawfirm.com.
Warm weather sticks, only a few degrees above average, though, down from yesterday's 90s. 86 this afternoon, a function of some scattered showers, a few thunderstorms around, especially second half of the day. This morning, we may see a few showers sneak in. Tonight, clouds early, then the sky will clear later. Front goes through 64. Suburbs will be a tad cooler. Plenty of sunshine Tuesday. Beautiful day with a west breeze, a high of 84. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on News Talk 760 WJR.
Monday through Friday from noon till 3, we welcome Rush Limbaugh into our lives on WJR. At 5:45, he stops by first thing in the morning with us as well. Rush?
You know, it's not just Seattle, Berkeley, New York, and other blue American cities. This insanity that we see around us has spread to cities around the world. In Liverpool, England, protesters vandalized street signs for Penny Lane. The vandals blacked out the famous street name and spray-painted Racist Lane, all because of unproven speculation that the street was named for James Penny, an 18th century slave merchant. Steve Rotherham, mayor of Liverpool, says that there isn't one shred of evidence that the street was named for the slave trader. But that doesn't matter. The mob has ruled. So I guess that we can expect that next, these history-erasing race warriors will come after the Beatles for daring to write an iconic song about their childhood memories of life in Liverpool. It was called Penny Lane. Paul George, John Ringo, anybody who collaborated with them probably will be denounced for writing a song about a street that maybe, possibly, might have been named for somebody in a slave trade 300 years ago. You know, these crazed leftists don't give a rat's rear end about evidence or history or anything else. The UK protest mobs are also demanding that statues of Winston Churchill and even Mahatma Gandhi come down. Nothing and nobody is immune from the blind rage of the mob. These leftists, they're beyond nuts. They're truly flirting with insanity. Do not let them suck you into it, folks.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR. Everybody okay?
Did you guys see the picture of the couple that wore the swastika masks in the wall?
I read about it. I didn't go look for the picture. I read about it.
Oh my gosh. I have a feeling it's going to go viral.
Hey, at least they had a mask on, right?
It's just, it's too much. It's just ridiculous.
What Walmart? Was that here?
No, it was in Minnesota.
Okay. Minnesota.
And they caused quite a stir, as you can imagine.
At Walmart, were they wearing swastika masks as clothing? Like was the woman in there like in a bathing suit? Made out of swastika masks. I mean, this is Walmart after all.
Exactly.
With Walmartians.
Walmartians. I love
That's
it.
funny.
If you go online, you'll see what I'm talking about. They got all kinds of websites of people and what they wear. You cannot believe the things they've accumulated on their reel of tape of the outfits that people wear.
Oh my
We're going to ask people to call in 800-859-0957. That's the number, right? I haven't used it in so long. 800-859-0WJR. We're going to ask you about sending your kids to school. Who in the world, here's a story already in today's Cranes, who's best equipped to decide how to safely reopen schools? It's a lot of confusion. CDC has sent down information on how you should open schools, but they've been so wrong about so many things. You have to really take this upon yourself to study it and become an expert in this area. And then you have to make some tough decisions. And some teachers are saying, hey, I really want to teach your kids, but not to the point of dying for them. So there's a lot of people with a lot of discussions. There's a lot of misinformation and disinformation that's not easy to figure out what's what. So we are all morning long, we're going to devote most of the show to this whole idea about going back to school or not. And for that matter, getting called back to the office. Our fearless leader gave us one of those fireside chats late last night. I happened to watch it. And they're saying that they're going to remain flexible. They've made no decisions on when we go back to the radio station, but made it very clear that no one will be made to go back to the radio station before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. It's the first time they've actually said it. They may come up with a way that people can go back, but they realize that a lot of people's lives are upside down. They go back, kids are still not in school, whatever might be there. So Mary Berner, God bless her, said flexibility will be the key. And rest assured, said she, that no one will be forced to go back to the radio station, forced to go back before the end of the year. So that was interesting.
That is interesting.
I'm not going back until then.
Right? Why should we?
It's too comfortable like this. It makes good sense to do it like this, Frank.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760 WJR.
We will have this forum on the schools. A lot of people are concerned, and rightfully so. And we'll get some experts on, but more importantly, we're going to get you on. So put this phone number alongside your phone, 800-859-0957, 800-859-0WJR. Your thoughts and opinions. You could be a teacher. You're worried about going back. You want to teach those kids. You don't want to give your life to teach those kids. You're a parent. Am I sending my kids into a bad situation or not? There's lots to think about, and therefore we'll have an open forum on that all morning long. And I have a feeling, because it's such an important topic, and we'll carry this over into tomorrow as well.
And maybe throughout the week.
Maybe, yeah.
As people are able to weigh in, because we have the university presidents who want to weigh in. They're busy at the beginning of the week, but later in the week, I'd like them to come on and tell us what they think too and how they're going to do this.
Who's going to be on today? Like who are we going to hear?
A lot of different people.
Okay.
Today we are heavy on the medical front. So we have a couple of different doctors. Well, we have three different
Dr.
doctors.
David
right,
Katz. Yeah, we have a lot.
Okay.
And we have a policy expert from the colleges.
They've got to make their decisions, which look at Michigan State had to quarantine their whole football team. I mean, that's just kind of a tip of the iceberg and maybe of the things to come. So it's a lot to talk about. But before we get into all that, because we won't have a lot of time during the show to cover, well, there's the FDA warning against the toxic hand sanitizers. Man, oh man, talk about a cure that's worse than the disease. I'm not saying that for all hand sanitizers, but if you use the wrong ones, the toxic ones, you can do harm. This stuff goes through your skin and into your system. Wood alcohol. How can something like this happen?
Yeah.
Seriously, how can manufacturers get away with this? They shouldn't get away with it. There's like 75 of them that did something to save themselves money when they knew that it was wrong and not good for you. Whatever. Here's a teachable moment, though. You got this mayor in Portland, Oregon, Mayor Ted Wheeler. This is such an important note. He has been protester the whole time. I mean, he's right there with Black Lives Matter and any other group or organization that's protesting in Portland. Keep the police out. Keep the federal troops out. I am one with you. And he went down to one of the protests and they said, get out, leave your job, quit your job is what they chanted. So here's a perfect example of a guy who thought, I know, I'll give them everything and then they'll listen to me and I'll be on their side. What an idiot. He really doesn't understand what's going on, which is why Portland is in the hellhole that it's in right now by their mayor, and therefore a teachable moment. Nobody can give these people what they want. The ones that are causing trouble, the real protesters have some very specific things they want, and they're protesting, and they're doing it the right way. The people who are causing the trouble and therefore causing the police or federal troops or whoever is there to retaliate and use the tear gas, the rubber bullets, and everything else are the officers who are dealing with these people who told the mayor to drop dead because they don't care what he's doing on their behalf. They don't have a behalf. They have a plan to destroy cities and democracy in this country. And that's a perfect example of it there with the Portland mayor getting booed and told to quit his job. He was doing everything they asked for and more. And that's what happened because, somebody else said, there was a fabulous woman on the news last night. And her name is Stephanie Brody. We need to get her on the air. Stephanie Brody is all of 5 feet tall. A teacher, teaches robotics and STEM-based programming and stuff. She stood between the police and some people who were going to foolishly march right at the police. She stood between them and held her arms up and said, "Do you really want to do this? Do you see what's behind me?" All these guys with helmets and billy clubs and everything else, and all these people marching to go attack them. And she single-handedly stopped these people from doing something really stupid and ending up as statistics. And I found her to be fascinating. And she basically said, what are these people doing this for? What's going to make them? I've had other people ask me this. What could we do that would make all of the protesters, the good ones and the bad ones, say, "Oh, okay, that's exactly what we want. Thanks very much," and go home and stay home? Can anyone tell me that?
No, I don't know.
Therein lies a very major problem that is indicative of what's really going on. And what's really going on is not good for America. And the silence majority, which became the silenced majority, is going to have to start speaking up, or we will not recognize America. Period. Speaking of great Americans, Congressman John Lewis will be on his way to Washington today. Maybe he's there now to be in the rotunda. That final trip over the Edmund Pettus Bridge, soon to be, if there's any justice, the Congressman John Lewis Bridge, was touching. Did you guys see that?
Very touching.
Emotional. Yeah.
Very, very touching.
People were cheering and thanking him for his service, and it was very good to see.
It was. It was
beautiful.
touching. It was good. And, some of the newspaper stories tried to tie him in with Black Lives Matter. No, he is way more on the line of thinking of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which was peaceful protesting. Dr. King was never for looting, and he never thought stealing from a store was somehow helping the cause. He never thought smashing windows and people was helping the cause. And believe me, John Lewis was far more like that than he was like the people that we see, at least, or are exposed to through what they call Black Lives Matter. Seattle Black Lives Matter clashes sparks 45 arrests. And for these people who are protesting properly, how did 21 police get injured on that weekend alone? 21 police injured. That doesn't happen when you're marching peacefully and yelling and holding up signs and screaming and protesting, does it? 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by the podcast True Romance.
Hi, I'm Devin Leary,
And I'm Carolina Barlow.
and we're here to tell you to dump him.
Break up with your boyfriend.
It's time.
Find True Romance wherever you get your podcasts to find out why.
Wasn't she going to say something else to find out why listen to us or to find out did they run out of time? They didn't get their timing so good on that, it looks like. Anyway, speaking of good timing, as we approach 5:58, Dana Clark is here in the nick of time with our WJR Traffic and Weather First.
We do have a construction situation. Traffic First, sponsored by Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Attention new car buyers. Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is offering exclusive lease savings on its entire inventory of new Jeep Compasses, Cherokees, and Grand Cherokees. During the Jeep Summer Clearance Event, Parkway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Hall Road in Clinton Township. Just show up, sign up, and ride. Buckling Pavement has shut down 94 eastbound between Gratiot and Chalmers. That will be closed until late Tuesday. Traffic stop from at least Van Dyke. You can take Gratiot northbound to Outer Drive eastbound. That will get you back to 94. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Gordon Chevrolet, where you pick out the vehicle you would love to drive and receive a worksheet with HLA on Ford Road, just west of Merriman in Garden City, GordonChevrolet.com. Gordon Chevrolet, find new roads. Expecting it to be a hot one today. The muggy meter is pretty high. Bad hair day, especially if you headed downtown to celebrate the home opener. Partly to mostly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm this morning and then chance of rain later this afternoon. Storms may contain strong gusty winds, a high of 87, but it's going to feel more like in the mid 90s. Tonight, cloudy, then clear, 66. For Tuesday, sunshine. It's going to feel better out there and a high of 86. Clear skies, already 80 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in about 1 minute.
So let's talk about that going down to the ballpark. You're not supposed to go down there at all, right? No tailgating. So
there's no tailgating. You can go to, there are several restaurants around the area that
are going to be open.
That are going to be open.
Okay.
You can't park in the parking lot. No fans. I'm sure there'll be a couple people, as always, standing outside, but they may move them along. I don't know, but there are no fans allowed, and so it'll be different.
Yes,
it'll be interesting to see if protesters show up.
Yeah,
good question. Right now, is Trev working? Dana
he is. Yay!
Oh, Trev's back to work.
He's back in action. Yeah, so he has to go down and go to. And the reason I know that is because of him. A few restaurants that he's already called, and they're going to be open, and they have patios. For the most part. And so he's going to be bouncing around out there. But then once he gets in, they have to sit in the stands themselves, the reporters.
Oh my gosh.
Spaced out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He says it feels really weird to be there with no one there.
Yeah.
I bet it is.
But he can get around a lot quicker, though, if you have to go from place to place.
Are they piping in sound?
Yes.
Crowd sounds?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So over the weekend, they did it in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And in Cincinnati, or the broadcasts from Cincinnati were actually done here in Southfield, right, Dana?
Yes.
And they did an excellent job.
Yeah, they did. They did a pretty good job, right? No, the broadcasters are not even there. I don't believe Dan Dickerson is there.
So they're all doing it from this area, but watching from a studio?
Yes.
Yeah, they put it together very, very well. Yes, very nicely done.
Job.
They had a lot of time. They had a lot of time, given that this far into the season, they're just starting the season.
But still, just the whole idea. You can envision something, but then to have it come together and sound as good as it did and look as good as it did is very impressive.
Yeah, they're doing the best they can, and then the players come out after and do Zoom. So no reporters are close to them. They come sit down at a table. And they look at a camera like we are, and then the reporter asks a question over Zoom.
Okay.
So they do the best,
But there are 3 Cincinnati Reds that got sick over the weekend.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes,
boy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is going to be interesting to see how it develops.
Yeah, it's going to be ongoing, I guess.
A lot of testing. I think it's going to require a lot of testing. Just like Paul, I think. Going back to school is probably going to require a lot of testing,
I think they should test. I think they should test everyone. If they can test athletes every day.
Oh, right.
They can test school kids. So don't anyone tell me, well, it's a lot of kids to have to do. Come on. It can
They
be
just have
done.
to get the test back quickly.
Should be done. Of course, the deal is, and I was just tested again Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yep. I was tested again Saturday. I'm having some procedures done this week that if you're going to go into a hospital or doctor's office, they want to make sure you don't have COVID. Okay. So I said, well, I just was tested. No, I've got to do it again. But the point is, I was tested Saturday. I could get it again Sunday or Monday. That's the problem with testing.
The nice thing about testing is, though, it's no big deal.
No, it's no big deal. No, I've had people say, "Oh, this is terrible." They take out a piece of your brain through your nose.
It's like, oh, really?
Not through my nose.
No,
they didn't, and they did it. But at both of them at Henry Ford Health System, one in Dearborn Saturday, and then one downtown before that, and it was a piece of cake. Really, it was simple.
And when did they tell you you'd get the test back? You need it back by?
I didn't ask. I needed it back by
really today or
tomorrow, but I've already gotten it back. I got it back yesterday.
Wonderful.
So it took one day.
One day.
That's
one
good.
day. And I don't want to do it again, but I will if I have to. But I'm just not a big believer in it because it can change. Although it can't change with me too easily because I'm not going out very much. But I do get the children stopping by, and I try to distance and wear a mask and all that other stuff. But when will it ever end? When?
Have you gone to Costco yet?
Nope, I have not, and
What?
I can't tell you. That is astonishing. As much as I love Costco, and I love Costco, it's a experience.
It's Paul's store.
I know.
It is my kind of store.
Well, you've gotten your hair cut, so Costco.
I did do that because Joe Backer came over. Joe Backer, landscaper to the stars, and he goes to the same person, Ginny, at Salon 76 or 76 Salon, which is a great name for somebody who works at 760 WJR. Obviously, I can't get lost, and it's their address too. Right. And he was over surveying his fine work, and I said, "Man, your hair looks fabulous." And he goes, "Yeah, I got a haircut." I went, "Well, where?" And it turned out to be the same place I go. So I went in with the mask, and I had to keep the mask on the whole time. Everybody had a mask on. She has little alcohol wipes for her equipment. So everybody's doing everything they're supposed to do and trying to survive, I guess, is part of the key, you got to do business to survive. And should I cut the top of my balding head off?
Yeah, let's see how it looks.
Let me just see what happens. Look at that. Look at Paul.
There you go.
Doesn't look like he's losing his hair at all. Forget about it. I need some.
We can do.
Remember Max Headspace? I need some Max Headspace. Anyway, so weekend was good. Didn't really do a lot. Kim went up to visit Natalie up at Michigan.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Yesterday and spent the night. They went out to dinner outside in Ann Arbor.
Nice.
Right.
Everybody's, doing their best to try to do it well. You heard this restaurant guy, this guy in New York has 20 restaurants. He's some big deal guy, and he closed them all.
He did?
He had to lay off like 3,000 people. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? I don't know.
He had a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, he must have a lot. Why did he do that, Paul?
It was too unsafe. And opening restaurant with half the number of people.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. It is July 27th, the 209th day of 2020. There are 157 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. Even Mondays. We're going to celebrate Monday like it's a Friday. It's Monday. Whee!
Good job, Dub.
Yay.
Right. It's opening day.
Yay.
Opening day. Whee!
Yay.
I have a Tigers shirt on. I got it all going on. Dana's got her Tiger hat going on.
That's right. Ready.
We started off with the team. Dick Hafner, our WJR news director, has got it all going on here with news with his Lions hat on.
Sticking with the Lions.
Yeah, because we are the voice of the Lions. We should be the voice of the Tigers, and one day they'll fully understand that and come back so that people can actually find where the Tigers are playing their games, because now you can't find them. Anyway, so Dick Hafner's here. Dana Clark is here. Thank you, Dana, for all you do.
Present.
Brian Morton is sitting in the booth there. Paul W. and Dick and Dana talk about what went on over the weekend, news of the day, and other topics of interest. Where'd that come from? That was very nice. Anyway, have we always had this little scroll going by?
This past week.
Okay, all right.
It's been around.
All right, it's just like on television, because nobody's attention is held for more than 14 seconds. While you're watching a story, they have 14 other things that they're telling you, because we're going to lose interest and focus. Anyway, I lost interest and focus. Anywho, Brian's in the Golden Tower, the Fisher Building, the brave one, and Ann Thomas, our executive producer, at home with those wonderful louvered blinds and the
blinds.
grandfather clock.
It's so classy. She's so classy.
Very
classy
nice.
over there.
Very classy over there. Very classy. Well, we talked about Regis passing away. I knew it when I called and he couldn't come to the phone because he wasn't doing interviews. And I said, I'm not calling to do an interview.
Calling to be nice.
I want to see how he's doing. And unfortunately, he obviously wasn't doing so well. And
Paul W., if you don't hear from me for a long time and I'm in my 80s, don't call me.
I'm the speaking of the angel of death. I watched with Sophie and her friend Sean. We watched Phantom of the Opera again.
I watched it recently too.
Did you?
Wow, it's so good.
Where do I see it?
Well, it must have been on. I walked in while it was just getting ready to start, so I watched it with them.
Okay.
It must be like Netflix or
I
something.
found it on YouTube, actually.
Okay.
Really?
I have to see it.
So,
beautiful, isn't it?
Oh my gosh! And it reminds me. I've told the story before. I'm walking. I became good friends with Marvin Hamlish from interviewing him when I was in Toledo, and he said, "You ought to come to New York." And in fact, I ended up going to New York, and we stayed close. And one day we were going to lunch, and we're walking down the street in Manhattan, and he goes, "Oh boy, there's a very successful composer." And I go, "Marvin, you have Chorus Line. It's the longest, at that time, it was the longest running Broadway show in history." And I said, "Marvin, you've got Chorus Line. You've got Carly Simon singing 'Nobody Does It Better' from 007. Marvin, you're a successful composer." And he goes, "No, but that's Andrew Lloyd Webber. He's really successful." I went,
"Don't."
Actually, he is very successful. Marvin, you're right. And I listened to that music from Phantom, and I go, "Man, oh man, what a composer!
I have to find it.
What incredible music, just incredible." And Sophie used to sing the songs, which was always very touching. That, and she sang songs from Jesus Christ Superstar, which I showed her at too early an age. I showed that to her too early an age. And she said to me, "Daddy, that was one of my favorite plays, movies ever, but I don't think I should have seen it." And that's because, Judas goes and hangs himself and all this stuff that's biblical and there, but whatever. This is the same little girl who once said to me in Ahee Jewelers, and I said, "Honey, is there anything that you would like?" And she said, "Daddy, sometimes you should just tell me no."
Oh, bless her heart. See?
Remember that?
Yes,
I do.
Yes.
Sometimes you just have to tell me no. I said, "I hope you remember that when you're a woman."
Exactly. Like now when she's 16.
17.
17. Wow.
Going 17 going on 37. These kids. I don't know what's wrong with these kids today. Da 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 da. What show was that from?
Oh, I don't know. What show was that from, Annie?
Annie.
Was it Annie?
No,
I don't know.
No, Annie.
I said Annie. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Annie.
What did?
Call in and Bye Bye Birdie.
Correct.
Okay.
On the nose. Right you are. So today we're going to do this forum, this open forum, if you will, on how you feel about sending your kids back to school, how you feel about going back to work in an office. I mentioned that we don't have to do that, and we've been assured by our fearless leader, Mary Berner, the CEO, that they haven't made a decision yet on when they're going to say, come on back to work, but they promised that no one would be made to, because there's going to be flexibility, no one would be made to come back to work this year. And that's good. That's okay by me. But we're going to open the phone lines, which we haven't done in a while, and that means Brian's going to have to stay right on top of things. Is there someone in there to answer the phone for Brian?
Yes, Jason is going to help Brian.
Thank you, Jason. 800-859-0957. 800-859-0WJR is the number. And coming up shortly, we're going to open those phone lines and start to hear from you, along with some very special guests that are going to help us along the way. It's 6:13 on this beautiful Monday morning.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Mark your calendars. Express Employment Professionals is once again hosting National Interview Day on August 6th. This special event supports hiring as businesses continue to reopen and business ramps back up. Apply online today. Visit ExpressPros.com/interview day to find a location near you.
Let's check it right here, right now. Our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Well, still accident-free to kick off the Monday morning drive. We are watching a 15-minute delay for trucks across the Blue Water Bridge westbound between Canada and the U.S. Also, construction, 94 eastbound. Could slow you down this morning between Gratiot and Chalmers. It is closed there. Traffic is stopped from Van Dyke. That's scheduled to be shut down until late Tuesday. That's due to buckling pavement. Now you can take Gratiot northbound to Outer Drive. That will get you back to 94. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Watching a few showers trying to come on through. Most of our showers, thunderstorms developing midday into the afternoon. Maybe some gusty winds. Should stay below severe criteria, however. High 86. Head on through the nighttime hours tonight. We'll clear it out as the front goes through. 64 degrees. Maybe some upper 50s in the northern suburbs. Tomorrow, sunshine and pleasant. West breeze and a high of 84. From a Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stitchick on News Talk 760 WJR.
Oh.